On this S-shaped land, where mountains touch the vast sea and rivers have long carved their stories into the earth, a resilient people emerged. Here, on the fertile plains and among the ancient forests, the first seeds of a unique civilization were sown. Over 2,000 years ago, our ancestors began shaping a society grounded in the tradition of wet rice cultivation, harmonizing with the rhythms of nature, and forging an identity that would endure the tests of time. Thus began an extraordinary journey, a journey to build a nation, to defend it, to nurture it, and to pass its spirit from one generation to the next. In the face of countless adversities, the Vietnamese people have remained unwavering, standing tall against every challenge and refusing to yield to any invading force.
From the mists of legend, the story of Vietnam begins. The tale of Lac Long Quân and O Cơ, the union of dragon and fairy, is more than myth. It is the spiritual foundation of a people who see themselves as descendants of both mountains and waters. Together, they gave birth to 100 sons, who spread across the land to settle and build the first communities. It was under the guidance of the Hung kings, in the ancient kingdom of Van Lang, that the earliest chapters of our nation's history were written. Here, in the shadows of the Red River Delta, the Vietnamese people developed a culture rooted in compassion, solidarity, and respect for the land. The steady beat of bronze drums echoed through the valleys and across the rice fields, a symbol of unity, resilience, and the collective will to thrive. From these origins, a spirit of resistance was born. In the year 40 AD, under the oppressive yoke of foreign domination, two sisters from Mê Linh, Trưng Trác and Trưng Nhi, rose to lead a rebellion. Mounted on war elephants, they rallied thousands to their cause, becoming the first heroines in the fight for independence. Their courage ignited a flame that has never been extinguished. Centuries later, Ngô Quyền would stand at the banks of the Bac Dang River, where with brilliance and daring, he ended 1,000 years of subjugation through a legendary naval victory. The tides themselves seemed to fight alongside the Vietnamese, turning the river into a graveyard for invaders and a symbol of hope for generations. The struggle for sovereignty did not end there. In the 11th century, as new threats loomed from the north, Ly Tung Kiet proclaimed Vietnam's right to exist with an immortal poem, "The Southern Emperor rules the southern land." These words were more than a declaration. They were a vow to defend the homeland at any cost. In the 13th century, the Mongol Empire, the most fearsome military force of its age, swept across Asia. Yet, under the leadership of Trần Hưng Đạo, the Vietnamese stood firm. With strategy, unity, and indomitable will, they repelled the Mongol invasions not once, but 3 times, with the rallying cry, "Kill the Mongols!" In the face of overwhelming odds, the spirit of Vietnam shone brighter than ever. Throughout the ages, peace was hard-won and often fleeting. When peril returned, new heroes rose from the people. In the 15th century, Le Loi led the Lam Sơn uprising, rallying farmers and scholars alike to cast off foreign rule. After years of sacrifice and struggle, victory was achieved, and the later Le dynasty ushered in a golden era for Dai Viet. The land blossomed, and the arts, literature, and learning flourished. But the march of history is relentless, and the 18th century brought new storms. The Thái Sơn movement, led by Nguyen Huệ, later known as Emperor Quang Trung, burst forth from humble beginnings. In a single, thunderous battle on New Year's Eve, Nguyen Huệ and his soldiers defeated 200,000 Qing invaders, once again affirming that the spirit of Vietnam would not be broken. Whether divided or unified, through prosperity and tribulation, the essence of Vietnam endured. The land changed, dynasties rose and fell, but the will of the people remained steadfast. The rivers, mountains, and rice fields bore silent witness to centuries of struggle and renewal. The 20th century brought challenges unlike any before. Vietnam faced new forms of aggression, long, brutal conflicts that tested the very soul of the nation. But in the crucible of hardship, a blazing torch was kindled. On September 2, 1945, in the heart of Hanoi, President Ho Chí Minh proclaimed to the world, "Vietnam has the right to enjoy freedom and independence, and in fact has become free and independent." The words rang out, echoing through every village and town, as a call to action and a promise to future generations. The victory at Dien Bien Phu in 1954 stunned the world and marked the end of colonial domination. The determination and sacrifice of countless men and women transformed the impossible into reality. Yet peace remained elusive. Decades of division and war followed, but the longing for unity burned ever brighter. In the spring of 1975, the nation was finally reunited, and the dream of a free, independent, and whole Vietnam became a reality. These were not just military triumphs, they were the triumphant chorus of a people who had never lost sight of their longing for freedom, dignity, and peace. Over more than 2,000 years, the story of Vietnam is not only a chronicle of wars and victories, it is a testament to the unbreakable spirit of a people who have never surrendered. From ancient myths to the realities of modern life, from the roots of the past to the aspirations of the present, every Vietnamese is a living chapter in this ongoing legacy. Today, as the country flourishes in peace, the younger generations inherit a sacred duty. They are the custodians of a rich culture, the builders of a modern nation, and the guardians of a proud heritage. In classrooms and laboratories, at festivals and in bustling cities, in the green fields and on distant islands, the spirit of Vietnam is alive and strong. Let us always remember, over 2 millennia of defending the homeland is 2 millennia of never bowing to any force. The journey continues, and the legacy endures. From the first beat of bronze drums to the vibrant pulse of today, Vietnam stands proud, a land of resilience, unity, and hope, forever unyielding in the face of adversity.